Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to Al Munir High School e-learning system. Class 9. This is your computer lecture. Unit number is 1. And this is your computer science and IT book title for class 9. Yes, today we are going to discuss our unit number 1, which is about the problem solving. So here we will solve our problems by adopting a number of steps. These are all the topics which we are going to cover in our unit number 1, problem solving steps, then flowcharts, then we will learn about the algorithm, test data, verification and validation of data, and in the end correction of errors. So our first topic is about problem solving steps. What is a problem? First of all, we will define a problem. A well-defined problem is the one that does not contain ambiguities. What is the meaning of ambiguities? It means that जिसमें कोई शक व शुबा ना हो. So a well-defined problem is the one that does not contain any ambiguities. It must be a clear and well-defined statement about the problem, that what is the problem. All the conditions are clearly specified and it has a clear goal. It is easy to understand and solve. So a clear problem is needed to solve it properly. Given a problem statement, first we need to see whether the problem is defined well or not. If the problem is not defined well, then we can use one of the following strategies. If your problem statement is not defined well, then we have to follow these strategies. By following these strategies, we can make our problem statement more clear and easy. So what are the strategies? Number 1, gain background knowledge. We try to know the situation and circumstances in which the problem is happening. What is the meaning of circumstances? कि हम हालात और वाक़यात देखेंगे कि प्रॉब्लम किन हालात और वाक़यात में जो है वो डेवलप हुआ है, हैपन हुआ है. In this way we can identify the given state. It also helps to know that what a good solution will look like. How we shall be able to measure the solution? So in the first strategy, we will gain the background of the knowledge, that in what situation and circumstances the problem is happening, to guess the good solution of that problem. Number 2, use guesses. What is guesses? जैसे हम कोई guess लगाते हैं, कोई जैसे हम कोई आइडिया अपना सोचते हैं कि ये इस तरह से चीज़ हो सकती है. So to solve the problem, to understand the problem, or to make it clear, we will use our guesses. We try to guess the unknown information through appropriate guesses. These guesses may be based upon our past experience. जैसे आपको किसी भी प्रॉब्लम का पास्ट एक्सपीरियंस हो चुका है, आप उसको रिकॉल करके उसके बारे में कोई ना कोई गैस लगा सकते हैं, अंदाज़ा लगाना. ड्रॉ अ पिक्चर. If the problem is not well defined, we can draw a picture and fill the undefined information. Always pictorial representation of a problem gives a very clear and good idea about the problem. Here we have some interesting facts. Albert Einstein said, if I were given 1 hour to save the planet, it would spend 59 minutes defining the problem. So defining a problem is more important. Next, we have understanding a problem. After defining a problem, we must understand our problem properly. It is important to understand the problem before jumping into the solution of the problem. So before the solution, to find the solution of the problem, we must understand our problem. For here we have the example. For example, here we have a riddle or a puzzle can be answered only after clear understanding. A clear understanding of a problem makes it easier to solve and helps to save money, time and resources. Understanding of a problem usually includes the identification of 5 W's. Yes, this is the very important. Please underline it and try to understand it. To understand a problem, we must use our 5 W's, that what, who, when, where and why. So these are the 5 W's. Problem analysis is the process to figure out these 5 W's from a problem statement. Problem analysis helps to understand a given problem. These are the basic elements which lead towards the solution of a given problem. For example, consider the following problem statement. Students, here we have a very good example. Through this we can understand our 5 W's, that how we can use these 5 W's to understand a problem. Suppose your class teacher assigns you a task to prepare a list of students in your school whose names start with letter A. The list is required in order to prepare an alphabetic directory of all students, and there is only 1 week. So time is only 1 week to complete the task. So how we can find out the 5 W's from this statement? Look here. Number 1, what we want to do? We want to make a list of students' names starting with letter A. For who? Yes, for students. And why we are doing this? To prepare the directory of students. And when? Where is the time? Within a week, 1 week. And where? The place is, it is school. So figure 1.2 shows the metaphorical representation of problem, where the red light represents a problem, the yellow light represents its analysis, and green light represents the solution. Here we have the same activity. You must read and understand it and identify the 5 W's. After defining and understanding the problem, the next step is planning a solution. So also we have some strategies to plan a solution. After analyzing a problem, we formulate a plan that may lead us towards the solution of a problem. This phase includes finding the right strategy for problem solving. Some of the strategies are divide and conquer. This strategy divides a complex problem into smaller problems. So if we have a big problem or a long statement, we can divide it and conquer it into parts. Next, strategies: guess, check and improve. We must look at the problem, the statement, we guess the solution, check it and improve it. The designer guesses a solution to a problem and then checks the correctness of the solution, whether the solution is correct or not. If the solution is not according to expectations, then she refines the solution. The refinement is an iterative process. Number 2, act it out. In this strategy, the designer defines the list of to-do tasks. Afterwards, he or she performs the task. And number last, very important, prototype. This technique draws a pictorial representation of the solution. It is not the final solution, but it will help to find the solution. However, it may help a designer to understand the important components of the solution. So the selection of a strategy depends upon the problem. It is quite important that one strategy may be more suitable to implement a solution than the other one. Next, defining candid solution. The word candid refers to something spontaneous and unplanned. So what is the meaning of this candid? What is candid solution? Candid means something spontaneous and unplanned. जो भी on the spot आप कोई decision लेते हैं और without planning लेते हैं, that is called the candid. For example, if you are asked to find the number of students in your school who can play cricket, so you can estimate by finding cricket players in your class and then multiplying it by the total number of classes in your school. So this is the spontaneous or unplanned calculations. Your answer in this way is the candid solution. To find exact number of cricket players, you have to opt some other way, like visiting each class or getting data from teachers. One can think of a candid solution anytime. कोई भी कैंडिडेट सॉल्यूशन के बारे में किसी टाइम भी सोच सकता है कि that this will be our answer. Now this is our activity. Your task is to find the average height of your class fellows. So what will be your candid answer on the spot? After defining, understanding, analyzing, then we have the selecting the best solution. So here our last procedure or step to find the solution of any problem, we have to select the best solution. Sometimes we find more than one solutions of a problem and select the best amongst them. कई दफ़ा हमें किसी भी प्रॉब्लम की एक से ज़्यादा सॉल्यूशंस मिल जाते हैं और उसमें से बेस्ट सॉल्यूशन को फाइंड आउट करना is the last step of our problem solving. For example, assume that names of all students in your school are available on a website and you are asked to search a particular name. You can solve this search problem by either of the following methods. So here we have the methods and you have to choose the best method to find out the names. Number one, look at each name on the website one by one until the name is found. Take printouts and search the required name. Copy names, put them in Excel sheet and sort. There is an alphabetic order and just press Ctrl F when the list is available in a web browser. So there are other solutions as well. Now we can identify a solution that has less number of steps. जिसके सबसे कम steps होंगे, सबसे कम steps को follow करके हम अपना solution find out कर सकते हैं. That will be our best solution for the particular problem. So after this topic, we have the next topic about the flow chart. What are the flow charts? Flow charts are helpful to know about the steps used to solve a particular problem. So here we have the flow chart. A very simple sample flow chart is about the wearing socks and shoes. You can make a simple flow chart. So it is a pictorial representation of an algorithm. We can draw different symbols to show a flow chart. So it will be simple and easy pictorial representation of any problem. So what is the definition of flowchart? A flowchart is a graphical representation or presentation of the steps to solve a problem. किसी भी प्रॉब्लम को सॉल्व करने के लिए ग्राफिकल रिप्रेजेंटेशन उसकी your presentation वो flowchart कहलाती है. We use symbols. So here look at this example. Here we have some symbols. So with the help of all these symbols, we can make a exact flow chart. So we use different symbols, and these symbols are connected with the help of arrows. So here we have the arrows to show the flow of processing. Figure 1.6 shows a flow chart for the simple problem of wearing shoes and socks. Next, what is the importance of flowcharts in problem solving? In problem solving, flowcharts can be used to plan a solution. If a flowchart is already there, we can quickly understand the way of a problem is solved. It is more effective to visualize the solution graphically than a text. A graphical representation also makes it effective to verify whether a solution is correct or not. It is also a good way to communicate the solution of a problem to other people. So all these are the different importance and uses of flowcharts in problem solving, and these are very simple. Next, in flowchart we use input, processing, decision making. We use different symbols for the input, for the processing and decision making. You must understand all these symbols properly. If you want to make a clear and simple flowchart, you must know about the symbols of what are symbols to input data, what are the symbols for the processing, decision making and outputs. So input means taking data from the user. It is important to know how many and what type of inputs are required. Next, we have processing. A flowchart also contains processing steps. The processing steps are used to performing calculations and storing the results of the calculations. These may include increasing, decreasing a value, adding, multiplying, dividing. So all these processing must be right in a proper way, with the proper symbol. Next, we have the next step is while making the flowchart, we have the decision making to determine whether a statement is true or false, and take appropriate steps accordingly is called decision making. Outputs are used to display information, and usually this information exhibits the processed results. Next, we have the flowchart symbols. Flowchart symbols show the different meanings. While preparing a flowchart, we use these symbols which have different meanings. So we use these flow lines. It is determined the flow of steps in a flowchart. Then we have terminal. This type of symbol is used as a terminal. It indicates start and end of the flowchart. So we start or end our flowchart with the help of this symbol. Here we have the rectangle type of symbol. We use it for processing. Then for decision making, we use this diamond shaped. It also shows a conditional operation that determines which one of the two paths to take. Here we have the symbol for input and output. It indicates the input of the data from the user and also displays the results to the user. Here we have the connector. If a flowchart doesn't fit on the page and it is a long one, then we use the connector to connect the different statements. Next, we have different examples of flowcharts. In this section, we studied problem solving using flowcharts. In a flowchart, input means to get data from some input device and store in computer memory. A data is in memory is given some particular name. We access data with respect to its given name to perform some computation from which results are obtained. So here we have some important examples. We can make a flowchart to convert Celsius to Fahrenheit temperature. This flowchart shows that after start, a computer user provides some numeric data which is stored in computer memory with the name Celsius. So here we use these symbols to start and end our flowchart. Here for the input and output, we have this yellow symbols, and this is for the processing. So here we have the formula which have the divide, plus and multiply signs. So this flowchart contains the three types of symbols. So in the next step, the result is computed by applying the formula to convert the given Celsius temperature to Fahrenheit. So here we have the formula in the processing symbol. The result is stored with the name of Fahrenheit, the value stored with the name of Fahrenheit, and then displayed by using some output device. Also we have here we have the flowcharts. Number 2 is to find the acceleration of a moving object with given mass and the force applied. Number 3, it is the flowchart to find the volume of a cube. Here we have number 4, the flowchart to find the plane the interest on an amount. So we use different symbols to show it. 3 types of symbols are used in these flowcharts, and these are the very simple flowcharts. Number 5, to find the sum product and average of 5 given numbers. Number 6, to find the area of a parallelogram. So you must draw it on your journals and on your notebooks to make the practice. Now we have the conditional flow in flowcharts. In the following flowcharts, we study that a flow between steps can depend upon a certain condition. If the condition is true, then the flow is different from when the condition is false. So look here in decision making, we have 2 types of decisions, yes or no. So to determine whether a given number is odd or even, if it is no, then it will print it is the odd number, and if it is yes, then it will print a even number. So it is a decision making flowchart, conditional flowchart. Here we have the 2 types of decisions. In the above flowchart, after the start step, a numeric value is taken from a user and stored in computer memory with name n. Then this value is divided by 2 and remainder is stored in memory with the name rem. To calculate the remainder, mod function is applied. We perform a conditional operation to check whether n is completely divisible by 2 or not. This is done by comparing the value of rem with o if rem is 0, the conditional operation gives a true value. It means that n is even because it is completely divisible by 2. On the other hand, if rem is not 0, the conditional operation gives a false value. It means that n is odd. So it is different examples of flowcharts. Here number 8 we have a flowchart to display the larger one out of the 3 given unequal numbers. So here we will input 3 even different numbers, and 0 and 1 and 2. For here we have to give the input which is large and 0. So it will first of all it will check the n1 number whether it is large or no. If it is no, then it will go to the n2 to check whether it is large or not. So it is a simple flow chart and its different values. Next, also we have a flow chart to find a maximum value among 3 numbers a, b and c. Number 9, to assign grade to subject based on total numbers and obtained numbers. So here we will start. Next we will give input to the input, obtained marks to the total marks. So in the pressing symbol we will write the formula to find the average of the all numbers. If the percentage is above 80%, then it will be the grade A plus. If no, then it will go to the other decision making symbol. Here we have the percentage greater than 70. If yes, then it will write down the grade A and end. But if no, it will go and then go to the other decision making symbols. So in this way we can draw a perfect flow chart to find the average of the numbers. And on number 10, to determine name of a weekday from a given number, where weekdays are assumed from Monday to Sunday and their respective numbers from 1 to 7. So same as we have studied in the above example, this example is also the same. Here we have from here we will start our flow chart. Next, in the input we will give the input number or day. If it is the day is 1, then it will print the Monday. If no, then it will print the Tuesday. Then if it is yes, then it will print the Wednesday. Otherwise no, it will jump on the day is 4. If yes, it will print the Thursday. Otherwise it will jump on the day is 5. Then it will print Friday. If no, it will jump to the day is 6. And then print, if yes, it will print the Saturday. Otherwise if no, then it will jump to the day is 7. If yes, it will print the Sunday. If no, then it will end the flow chart. So all these are the very good and very clear examples of flowcharts. Repeating steps in flowchart. In all the above flowcharts, the flow is from top to bottom, but it is also possible that a flow may go to the previous step, especially when we need to repeat some steps. So here we have some the examples. If we want to repeat some steps again and again, so we can also draw such a flow chart. For here question number 11, to print 5 values one by one and determine if the given value is odd or even. So if you want to again run again and again this flow chart, here we have the decision making symbol. If no, then print is odd. If yes, then the print is even. If your 5 numbers not yet completed, then it will go again to the input number. So here we can give the input number at least of 5 till 5. So we can also draw such kind of flowcharts in which we can repeat our all the processing. The above algorithm uses a count to keep counting the number of inputs given by a user. So we initially give it the value 0 and increase it by 1 after every input. After printing even or odd, we compare it with 5. If the count reaches to 5, we stop the flow, or otherwise transfer it to input another value. In the last, we have question number 12, to find a sequence of odd numbers starting from a given number till some limit. So please understand this flow chart. And this flow chart is telling you to find a sequence of odd numbers starting from a given number. आप कोई भी number देंगे और वहाँ से उसको odd numbers लेना start कर देगा. So here From here we will start our flow chart, then we will input, then here we have the processing symbol to process, here we have the decision making symbols. So in this way we can make a simple and clear flowchart to find the sequence of all the odd numbers. So students, this is all for today. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.